the lead magnet doesn't give all the things away. It's providing value, but it's not a full-blown offer. You're giving too much away from the beginning that it should be focused on that appetizer. As a former teacher, I don't believe that you have to sacrifice your purpose in order to get paid. If anybody deserves to be a millionaire, it's an educator. I'm Dr. Erica Jordan Thomas, and you're listening to Seven Figure Educator. Welcome back to another episode of the Seven Figure Educator podcast. My name is Dr. Erica Jordan Thomas. I'm a former teacher, former principal, Harvard grad turned full-time entrepreneur. I'm CEO and founder of EJT Education Group, a seven-figure education consulting business, and I'm your host. On this episode, we're going to be talking about lead magnets. I want to break down lead magnets, the role that they play in your business, and some misconceptions around lead magnets. So let's first start with what is a lead magnet? The term itself is a great indication for the purpose of a lead magnet. So a lead is anyone who comes into your ecosystem through an email address. If someone is signing up to join your email list, or they provide you their email list because they want to stay in more conversation and connection with you, they now have converted from being just another person on social media to now they're a lead. They're someone who they're in the ecosystem of your business. A lead magnet provides value such that it serves as a magnet for leads. It provides an incentive for someone to want to give you their email address in exchange for that lead magnet. So the lead magnet should be something that absolutely provides value for your target audience such that they would be excited to give you their email address because of what the lead magnet can offer and provide. I know you're listening to this episode, and if you felt like you found your community, well, I want you to take the next step to join our community on Facebook. I have a free Facebook group, other Black education consultants just like you, and we're talking about proposals, we're talking about the next opportunity. People are collaborating and finding contracts together. It's an amazing, beautiful space that we've been able to curate, and I want to invite you to join. So go ahead and click the link in the show notes to be able to request to join my Facebook group, and I look forward to engaging with you there. So let's go through a couple of examples of lead magnets. For lead magnets, these should be things that you can think of as almost like appetizers. They're things that are bite-sized. They're just enough to be able to digest, to get a taste of your expertise, to get a taste of your services. So we're not giving away a full 7-course meal. We're giving away a really thoughtful amuse-bouche, a really thoughtful appetizer, something that is going to want people craving more, but it's tasty, right? Like, it's not just some type of fluff or filler. It's something that's providing value to your audience. So here are a couple of examples of lead magnets that you might have in your business. You could have a quiz as a lead magnet, something that people can engage with, and then after they take the quiz, it spits out a score and lets people know where they are in the relation to the problem you solve in their business, and maybe a couple of recommendations of what they should do if they're at that particular stage. You could have a lead magnet, a templates. So what are certain templates that would be really valuable to your audience? Whether it's a walkthrough template, an observation template, a lesson plan template. What are those types of resources that you could easily repackage into a lead magnet in your business? Scripts. Any types of scripts that you have readily available, you could provide as a lead magnet in your business, because that is extremely valuable to your target audience, because now you have closed the knowledge gap of what something might sound like, whether it is a script of when you're calling a parent, an interview script, or a script for a particular section of the lesson plan, or a script for an opening staff meeting. All of those things would be really valuable lead magnets. Checklist. What are sample checklists that you could put together that would be of value to your target audience? Is it a first day of school checklist, an opening of school checklist, an end of year checklist from a school standpoint, from if you have a target audience of principals? So for example, as a principal, I had an end of year checklist that I had to make sure all those things were complete before teachers had left the building for the year, because if not, I would have so much work to have to do. All the classrooms would have to be organized in a particular way to make it easier for our custodial staff to engage in summer cleaning of the building. And if I didn't have clarity on that checklist as a principal, then it would create for a lot of double work, a lot of headaches, a lot of frustrations. And that end of year checklist was so important as a principal. So that could be an example of a checklist as a lead magnet. If you have a book, your book is an amazing lead magnet. So typically books are under $50, right? 20, $30. That's an amazing lead magnet where it serves as an appetizer for someone to get to know you and then to be able to learn more about the next level of what it looks like to work for you or the next level of what it looks like to work with you. Webinars are another example of lead magnets. A short 60 to 90 minute experience, a virtual experience of being able to learn with you, spend time with you, and it's aligned to the problem that you solve in your business. That's an amazing example of a lead magnet. Those are just a few examples of lead magnets that you could have in your business. So if you don't have a lead magnet, go back through, rewind a couple of steps to go back through that list. And I want you to start with at least one lead magnet that you could then turnkey in your business. If you currently right now are relying solely on referrals in your business, that means you likely don't have a lead magnet. So again, go back a few steps of this podcast episode, go back through that list I just shared. I want you to pick one and implement and execute in your business. If you are a Black entrepreneur and you are looking for a playground to be able to grow your business and receive a roadmap for building a seven-figure education consulting business, I want to personally invite you to my upcoming 5-day business school. You're going to have the opportunity to spend 5 days with me, and I'm going to break down my blueprint for helping you grow a seven-figure education consulting business. I'm going to teach you my seven-figure sales process. I'm going to teach you how to develop your offers. We'll talk about pricing. And my goal by the end of the 5 days is that you make money, which means I'm going to help you identify people in your network that you can begin pitching by the end of our 5 days. So there's no excuse, because guess what? It's completely free. I want you to go ahead, head to the link in the show notes to sign up and join me at my next B-School. I'll see you there. So there are a couple of missteps and misconceptions around lead magnets that I just wanted to clear up, because these are the things that are serving as roadblocks for folks in their business. So when you have a lead magnet, you've got to be consistent with promoting that lead magnet. So when you're inconsistent, that's a misstep that so many people make. Well, they'll make a lead magnet, they'll post it on social media once, and then they just leave it sitting there when they have the opportunity to consistently be marketing, consistently be introducing that to their audience. There are many ways that you could be promoting the lead magnet. If you're speaking at a conference, that's a great way to share your lead magnet with folks. You should always be pushing and promoting your lead magnet, because that's the way to be generating leads. I've seen some people who just have too many lead magnets in their business that they're not able to be consistent because they have too many. So from a lead magnet standpoint, you really want to have maybe 2 to 3 core lead magnets in your business. Beyond 3, it just gets a lot to be able to wrap your hands around to be consistent with promoting them. And so no more than 2 to 3 lead magnets. Beyond that, it just sets you up to be inconsistent. The other misstep that I see people make is they're creating lead magnets that aren't aligned to their offers. So the whole purpose of a lead magnet is to give someone an appetizer to warm up their palate to be able to move on to the next step with you of the 7-course meal or your actual offers. So that means that your lead magnet has to be aligned to your offers. So if your offer is a 3-series professional development on classroom management, then your lead magnet needs to be something related to classroom management. You can't have a lead magnet on effective literacy practices, right? Like that doesn't directly relate to classroom management. You want to make sure that there's that tight alignment between what would give someone value to be able to give an email address from a lead magnet standpoint, and then they would be so excited to be able to take the next step with you because of the value that they got from that lead magnet, and your offers is the natural next step. And then lastly, I see this next misstep, which is a big misconception that I see happening in the marketplace, is that there are some people who are treating their lead magnet like an offer. So lead magnets could be free, they could be paid. And oftentimes, particularly in a B2C model, business to client model, where your target client is individuals versus businesses, it's a really effective strategy when you have a higher ticket or higher tier offer that's a 5-figure offer. It's advantageous to have a paid lead magnet, but your paid lead magnet is going to be less than $100. So you might have a paid webinar that might be $48 or $98. In that particular scenario, I've seen too many people who are kind of treating that lead magnet like it's an offer. It's the end all be all. And this is where you want to remind yourself that it's an appetizer, meaning this is simply the entry point. It's the first step in the relationship because the destination is the back end offer. It's not the lead magnet itself. And so that means the lead magnet doesn't give all the things away. It's providing value, but it's not a full-blown offer to where you shouldn't have a lead magnet that's a 80-page handbook. Right? Like you're giving too much away from the beginning that it should be focused on that appetizer. Hopefully you've been able to get some ideas of lead magnets, and regardless of the stage of business you're in, you've been able to gather something from this episode, because even if you're further along in business, this might be the opportunity to revamp the type of lead magnets that you have in your business, to refresh those lead magnets. I found that it's helpful around every 12 months to actually start freshening up those lead magnets, to develop new lead magnets. And I actually think when you get to the 7-figure mark and you're scaling to multiple 7 figures, that it's advantageous from a lead generation standpoint to be experimenting with a new lead magnet quarterly, just to be able to see what really resonates with your target audience. So if you've been able to find value through this episode, I want you to share it with an educator friend so that way they can join this conversation and they're not missing out. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that way you know when the next episode drops here on the 7-Figure Educator podcast. We drop episodes every single week, and I don't want you to miss out. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode. I know you're enjoying this episode, but I wanted to pop in really quickly to make sure that you know about my event, 7-Figure Educator Live. It is the only event for Black educators who have a vision of a 7-figure education consulting business, and they are ready to make that vision a reality. You have the opportunity to spend 3 days in person with me and my team in Atlanta, Georgia, and I guarantee this is a transformative experience you do not want to miss. So to grab your ticket, you're going to need to head to 7figureeducator.com. Again, that's the number 7figureeducator.com, and grab your ticket before the price goes up. The link is also in the show notes. Go ahead and click, and I'll see you there.